Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm down at Hendrick Lexus Northlake. We're going to take a look at this 2022 Lexus ES 350 F Sport. So huge shout out to them for providing this sporty sedan for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. All that info is down in the description. The ES 350 that you see behind me is finished off in Obsidian, and it has an MSRP just over $53,000. So starting off today's review, we're going to take a look at what powers this ES 350. Underneath the hood, you'll find the 3.5 liter V6 engine. This is paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission, and it pumps out 302 horsepower around 6,600 RPM and 267 pound-feet of torque around 4,700 RPM. This model is front-wheel drive. It weighs in right around 3,600 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 6 seconds, up to its top speed of 131 miles an hour, and it has a fuel capacity of 15.9 gallons. You can expect to see around 22 miles per gallon in the city and 31 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 113 inches. Its overall length is 195.9. It has a width of 73.4 and a height of 56.9 inches. As we work our way to the exterior styling now for this ES 350, let's start off with the hourglass design for the grille. So you'll see on this model here, it's finished off in gloss black, with the surround being finished off in black chrome, which is really nice against this exterior color. There's also plenty of cutouts in the grille too to provide maximum cooling. And you can see the Lexus badge is also the forward-facing sensor, so it's nicely incorporated so that way it doesn't break up the rest of the grille. That's a part of all of the adaptive cruise and all of that technology. You can see all the parking sensors are nicely integrated as well, and all of the lines from the grille too extend outwards, just giving it a really nice integrated design. You can see it wraps around the lower section there, and then from the point of the hourglass, you can see it goes to the hood, and then it breaks off to another line going all the way to the A-pillar. So that's nicely incorporated. And then this also has LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals. And you'll see the DRL is classic for Lexus with that crisp design. It also works its way to the side of the vehicle there. The turn signal is just above that. And then you can see the triple beam design for the headlights and the high beams. Very sleek headlight housings as well. And then there's even more trim over on the corners of the bumper. And you can see all of those contoured lines just to blend it in nicely. As we work our way to the side, this model has the 19-inch wheels finished off in gloss black. You can see that split spoke design, just giving it a great look and matching the exterior color. The side mirrors are also power operated. You can see they're finished off in black with this chrome trim piece, the integrated turn signal as well. This does have a sunroof up top. You can see all of the window trim is finished off in that black chrome as well, just to tie it in nicely. The F Sport badge is up front. Really subtle lines running down the side just to give it a great look. And then last up in the rear, you can see the trunk mounted spoiler just to give it some more flair. The backup camera is just underneath the Lexus badge with more of that chrome trim running right through the power trunk. This does have LED taillights. You can see all the parking sensors down below as well. There's even more trim and some fins in the lower section of the bumper. And then you can see more of that trim surrounding the dual exhaust. But with the exterior wrapped up, let's work our way to the cargo area. You can use the button on the key fob or the hidden button over on that right side, and just by pushing on that, it will automatically open up. Where you'll see there's a lot of storage space. We have the carpet in here. Over on this driver's side, you can see it extend some. Same with the passenger side there, so you can put in items sideways if you need to. We do have the cargo net that you can see is currently attached, or you can place smaller items that you don't want to roll around. So definitely a good amount of space. And then up on the underside of the trunk lid, there is one grab handle, or of course you can use that button on the left side and it will automatically close. But now let's move on to the back seats, where you'll see you can lock and unlock the vehicle from the back door. So that's really convenient to have. And then as we look at this interior, you can see the bright red leather, really nice two-tone design with the black leather and the red stitching, which is a great touch. You can see this trim piece on the top. This also has the upgraded 17-speaker Mark & Levinson audio sound system. You can see the release handle, and then there's a little bit of storage down in the lower section of the door. And working our way to the two-tone seats, you can see more of that red and black leather. And at 5'10", it's time to work my way into the back. The door sill is pretty low, so it's really easy to enter and exit. We have that grab handle on the back side of the armrest, which is a great touch. And then behind both front seats, you can see there's some storage pockets if you need to use those. And with the front seat set at my height, you can see I have plenty of room for my feet and my legs. I have around an inch or so above my head, so I have a little bit of headroom here, but it is a comfortable seat. I really like the side bolstering support that it offers. Right in the middle, we do have the armrest, so I can pull this down where you'll see there are 2 cup holders if you need to use those. And you do have a lockable storage bin here that gives you access into the trunk. So if you want to lock items in there, or if you need to open that to put in longer items, you have the option to do that. You can see the visibility from the back seats is very spacious with the amount of glass that's offered. Right in the middle, you can see 2 air vents. There's also a 12 volt and 2 USB-C, so that way you can charge any electronics that you have. And then as we work our way to the front seats now, you can see the door handle is just like the rear, so you can lock and unlock it. And then on the door panel, we have more of that two-tone with the addition of the memory seating adjustments, so you can see those, along with all the window controls, the power adjustments for the side mirrors, lock and unlock as well, and that same amount of storage down in the lower section. Lexus is also down on the door sill there. And then as we look at the front seats, you can see F Sport up in the headrest. Really nice two-tone design again with that red and black leather. And these are also automatic seats, so we have all those adjustments along with F Sport ES down on the floor mat there. And again, at 5'10", working my way into the front seat, the door sill is very low. We have a large door opening here, so it makes it easy to enter and exit. And moving on to the steering wheel now, you'll see it's finished off in solid and perforated leather with red stitching running along the inside. F Sport is down on the lower section, and then there's a lot of controls on both sides that we'll get to here. By starting this up first, the engine start stop button is over on that right side, and with my foot on the brake, we can bring this to life. And looking at this gauge cluster, you can see front and center is the tach along with miles per hour and what gear you're in. On the right side is the fuel gauge. On the left side, currently you can see the engine temperature along with trip information. However, if I push on this button here, you'll see the entire tach shift to the right, where now we have a lot more information over on this left side. You can look at your lane keeping assist with that sensitivity, your cruise control, your parking sensors you can turn on and off. You can even monitor the heads-up display, go through all of that information. If I scroll over, you can pull up any messages that you may have, along with look at your adaptive cruise. You can pull up the music along with the compass, and then you have some more general information to go through, like your current and average MPG. You can look at your range along with your economy meter. There's even a G-force meter. Your gear position you can keep track of, obviously, when you're out on the road. You can also look at TPMS. So it's really nice to be able to do that and hide away that information if you don't want to see it, which is great. And then also over on this left side, you can see all the controls I was using to go through that info, along with Bluetooth voice commands and volume for the radio. Over on this right side, you can see all the cruise and adaptive cruise control settings, along with the lane keeping assist. You can see tuning for the radio. This also has steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, finished off in a really nice brushed color, just to match nicely. And then over on the left side of the steering wheel, you can see the fuel cap and trunk release, along with the hood release. There is a little bit of storage here if you need to place any smaller items there. We do have a button for the heads-up display, being able to turn it on and off. I'm not sure if the camera can pick that up, but currently it's showing the tach along with miles per hour and what gear we're in. There's also one air vent over on this left side. And then as we come back to the gauge cluster here, we have 2 knobs located on the top of it there. Over on this left side, if I push on that, that is how you can turn traction control off. If I push on it one more time, it will turn back on. And then over on this right stalk here, twisting this dial up will put the vehicle into sport mode. If I twist it down once, that's eco, and then pushing on the end of it will put us back into normal mode. And you'll see the gauge cluster there change as needed. And then right in the middle, we have the large 12.3-inch screen. This is a touchscreen system, so you can easily go through all this information or use this pad located down below. You can see map and menu along with this trackpad here, and then we have one button on the back side. So if I push on menu, you can see all the presets in the lower section here pop up. So you have audio, phone, projection. That is how you can pair your phone to the system. You can go into the apps. You can even go into climate. So just by pushing on that tab, you can see all of that information pop up. And then what's really nice, if I go into navigation here and have that popped up, I have the map going. Over on this right side, you have some other information that you can go through, like your trip information. You have easy access to the climate controls. You can pull up the map for whatever reason if you have something pulled up over here and you want the map in a smaller view, or you can go to full screen here. Also on this left side, you can see the clock there. We have 2 air vents right in the middle, and then all of the physical buttons for the climates. So you have the fan speed, where you like the air to go, temperature, and you'll see once I turn that on, now we have the readout for driver and passenger, so you can see that down below. We have power and volume for the radio along with tuning, so it's nice to see, those are incorporated together there, so they take up one space. We have some other controls for that. You even have a lockout there. And then down below, we have the heated and ventilated seat controls along with the heated steering wheel. So it's nice to have shortcuts to those. You can see the CD player as well. And then in front of the shifter, there is a cup holder, a little bit of storage, along with some auxiliaries there where you can charge electronics. On that right side, you saw all of those controls. And then looking at the leather wrap shifter, the release is on the left side here. So with my foot on the brake, we'll put it into reverse, where you'll see the backup camera up here along with the guidelines. There's a little bit different of an angle there if you need to do that. And then you can also change the guidelines as well, just depending on what you like the most. And then we can go down into drive, pop it over into the manual setting, which allows us to use these steering wheel mounted paddle shifters or the shifter itself, which we'll show when we get out on the road. We have the auto hold assist there. There's a really nice pad here where you can place your hand if you're using all of these controls. You'll notice too, the storage for the cup holder is very deep, but if I push on this button, now it's about half the space. So just depending on the drink that you have, very versatile to see that. As we move on to the center armrest now, you can see it opens up, and now we have the wireless charging pad along with a good amount of storage space on the back side. And this also opens both ways. So if you need to gain access from the passenger side or driver side, very versatile to see that, which is great. And then over on the glove box here, you'll see there's plenty of room for all that information. We'll take one last look at these seats here. I really like the combo, especially against the exterior color. This has the sunroof with the manual adjusting sunshade. You'll see all the controls for the sunroof, as well as the touch sensitive dome lights. But now that we're out on the road, the heads-up display I've also noticed changed slightly from when we were in the parking lot. We can see the speed limit sign, miles per hour, as well as the lane keeping assist, and even the tach. And then just by pushing on this button over on the left side, you can shut that completely off if you don't want to see it. But I do like where it's positioned, very low, so it's kind of out of your line of sight, but also it's right there when you want to look at it. But with this out on the road, Lexus's drive very smooth. I've put a few miles on it so far. We're gonna get to some twisty roads here in just a little bit, but it's so smooth. We are in normal mode right now. It's very, very quiet too. If you're looking for a practical sedan, you want it to be very comfortable. The F-Sport suspension as well is riding very good so far in normal mode, as you would expect. If I twist that dial and put it into sport mode, you can feel it tighten up just a little bit. I'm trying to go back and forth on this road here to feel. But either way, it's going to provide you with a really nice ride. So I love how quiet this vehicle is. But with it in sport mode, let's pop it over into the manual settings so we can shift using these paddles here. And we'll give it a little bit of gas. Now, it's not a crazy quick vehicle. I'm short shifting since it's a brand new vehicle, of course. It's not like crazy fast, but it definitely has that F-Sport design and features that you're looking for. So if you want it to be a little bit more sporty, this is definitely the model to get. Again, it's not designed to be a performance-oriented sedan necessarily, but it's nice that we have the suspension, we have the wheels, we even have these seats too. These are the F-Sport bucket seats. They definitely have some great bolstering to them. As we're coming up to a right-hand turn here, we can test out not only its handling, but also these seats as well. And very solid around that turn. As you can tell, I'm not a very big guy and I did not move in these seats at all. These paddles are also very responsive. As soon as I tap on this paddle, you can see that tach drop or change. And the exhaust is very quiet. You can barely hear it, which again is the design of this car. It's very well insulated. And now working our way to the interior here, as you've already seen in today's video, well, I think the biggest thing that I love is the size of this screen. I think that's been a slight complaint with some of the previous models from Lexus, is the fact that they needed to incorporate this larger screen in a lot more models. And in this ES350, it's a great touch, very large. And then as far as practicality goes, you have a lot of room in the back seats for 3 people there. You have plenty of storage space. Now, while the back seats do not fold down, I think the addition of having a little bit more storage in that rear area is a plus. And you have that small cutout if you have any larger items that you need to put through. So it's definitely pretty practical for an everyday vehicle. And so as we switch over to the POV angle now, you can see what it's like to be behind the wheel, as well as going around some of these turns. We'll give it a little bit of gas as we accelerate around this turn. And while you really won't be able to hear it in sport mode here, definitely handles well. That wasn't anything too crazy, just on a normal back road here. But it handles well, and again, I can't reiterate how comfortable and quiet it is to drive this vehicle. If you're looking for something that is ultra luxurious in a sense for this price point, you're definitely getting that. And this interior, very, very nice. I love the layout. There's not a whole lot of buttons, so it does make it easy to go through all this information. Everything is pretty much up top with minimal buttons down below. Brakes do a great job as well, and then turning radius, pretty tight here, so it makes it very maneuverable for daily driving. Visibility over that left shoulder, you can easily see out of that glass. Same with your right shoulder there. Pillar's not all that bulky, so it's very, very open and spacious on this interior as well. We can go ahead and set the cruise control. We have the radar cruise active. So obviously if there was a car in front of me, we have the distance pacing and the lane keeping assist that you can adjust. So currently you can see I'm adjusting that in the center. It's also adjusting up on the heads-up display as well. It has the same graphic. And then we have the active steering assist, which I just turned on. So coming around a turn like this, even though my hands are on the wheel, it's going to turn slightly if you don't do it. So that is a nice option to have. Obviously, you still need to be paying attention to where you're driving, of course. But I love technology like that. Definitely really great. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this walk around review and test drive behind the wheel of the 2022 Lexus ES 350 F Sport. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Northlake for providing this sedan for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. That link is down below. Give the video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I'll see you in the next video.